Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the British Irish Professional Cup #2. Stumbling over my words, I am so excited for this grand final right now. I can't. I just want to get into the match. I just want to do it. But short recap of today: we started off with the winners bracket final between Hendo, Epos, Boz, and Whizzy. That's so Boz and Epos making their way through to the grand final. The other two players being knocked down to the consolidation. Yeah, joining them in the consolidation were the two winners of either Leo, Vinho, Akros, and Royboy. And out of that game, Akros and Leo won and went through. Consolidation final we just saw finish. So Whizzy and Hendo managed to make their way back through into the upper bracket and into the grand final. They'll be facing off against Epos and Boz for their share of £1,500. Again, massive thank you to Into the Breach for helping partner with us and helping to contribute to the prize pool. Massive thanks. It's amazing showing that this is what we can produce as a grassroots British community. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait to now get into the game and see who's going to be earning the big bucks, as they say.
Yep, very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good match, I think. Obviously the best of the best right now. I think we've seen them prove it through a full double elimination bracket. So I think it's going to be a good one. Very, very good one.
Absolutely. And looks like we're going to be jumping into the match pretty soon. I think we're going to give it a couple more minutes. Just make sure the players are ready. Yeah, we're going to be starting off on Frameshift, which is a map we've seen, bozbez be pretty good on, putting up some real good times in his matches. So we'll see if he'll do that again in the grand final. Again, we said about a little bit of a break. We'll see if he needs a bit of warm up or if he'll just still be as hot as he was from the previous game. Really hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, but he was terrifying in yesterday specifically. He was absolutely terrifying, hitting low 0.4s consistently, and by the end of the winner bracket final, he was doing exactly the same thing. So we'll see if his flow has been disrupted, or if he can just pick it back up and go straight back into it. We'll see. I'd say in the meanwhile, he said he was looking at VODs, but maybe he was also picking out one or two tracks to improve on. I'm trying to remember which one it was that he was having trouble with. I believe it was Hoga. Was it?
It was Boz was having issues on Hoga, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think it might have been Hoga. So maybe we can keep an eye on Hoga, like when it comes around to that, and see how he does there. I think Epos was kind of across the board pretty consistent. He was getting good times, not as good as Boz, but and then Hendo and Whizzy, I think, a bit more shaky compared to the other two. But yeah, very interested to see because Whizzy could come out of nowhere and hit incredible times. He's capable of those times. So yeah, we'll see.
Definitely. I mean, they've all got great pace. Again, it'll probably come down to a mental. The game of the mental, game of the mind. So you can really keep it in check. Endo is in a bit more of a chilled mental state by the sounds of it, but
maybe not now though. We're going straight into the first round of the grand final of BIPC. So I think that's got to be going through his head, as it will be with everyone else in the game right now. Hearts racing, really just super focused now. That's exactly what they need.
Yeah, and Hendo whipping out the Welsh skin. Made by Whizzy, actually. So the irony of that playing against his own skin creator.
Bad focus, but I respect it. Leaving behind the Irish car and the extra acceleration with it, but Whizzy hitting the outside dirt here.
And from him. Interesting to see, like you said, with the nerves of it being the grand final. Let's see if the first couple of rounds are a bit shakier from these players. But a nice time coming out from Epos, 0.5. Not the fastest we've seen today, but
yeah, still pretty fast. I mean, not a great time from Boz though, and he didn't make any clear errors. So maybe he needs a bit more of a warm up. Epos, obviously, he does have an Irish skin, so that's why he's first. He's rocking
Yeah,
the Guinness skin from, I believe it
rocking the
was
Guinness.
Killian made that skin. But yeah, very nice start from him.
Yeah, shout out to Killian, type 1 in chat, Killian, for the amazing skin. Um, yeah, Boz in third place at the end of that round. Not what most people would be expecting, but we'll see. Epos takes a slightly different line then. It doesn't look like it's paying off too well. Front
No, not
runners
well at
are
all.
neck and neck. Quite a bit of ways
Yeah,
ahead as well.
and honestly, on this map, unless he gets an error from one of the other players, I don't think Epos is gonna catch up here.
You say that, he just
I'm
got a
saying it,
great
and
jump there, and
did a very good.
he's at risk of taking Hendo here. But Whizzy jumps up into first as Boz is going to be trying to fight back on the inside corner there. We're going to go into last corner drift. Whizzy gets a slightly better inside line. He looks like he's going to... Oh, Hendo clips on the outside. But at the front, Whizzy is going to get a 0.6 finish and just snipe Boz
Yeah.
there. The very
And
end.
Hendo was just too wide there, and he didn't have
Wow.
enough speed, so he was going to lose it to Epos anyway. So he goes for
Yeah.
the safe in.
I can understand it. I can understand it from him. I mean, that was the round where we said, Epos is a bit far behind. I don't think he'll be able to really do much. And yeah, he did get a couple more points than he possibly should have there.
Did very well, but I would say it's also partially down to the error from Hendo there. Like he could have kept it, but Epos though falling behind at the very start, I didn't quite see what it was that
Yeah, it
made him fall behind there, but not so good.
looked like his
It's the
dirt
second time in a
section.
row, by the way.
Yeah, at the very first dirt section, it looked like he went really wide, maybe caught a bit too much to the inside corner and bobbled out, but he's seeming to regain most of the time throughout the track, at least on Hendo and Whizzy it feels like, as Boz still has a slight lead over the rest of the field, and we'll see this end section here. Are we going to see any more incidents? Boz with a really wide line, going to drop down into fourth position with little to no speed compared to everyone else. You're going to see the battle for first. Whizzy is going to hold on.
Epos seemed very wide there, by the way. Like I was kind of clenching there. It was like way too wide. But Boz being quite uncharacteristic on this map. Where does that put him now? Puts him fourth place. Not where you would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, okay. What's happening? What's happening here? This is not what the script said was gonna happen.
I think what's happening here is he's warming into the game. I would say. I would like to say anyway. I mean, maybe the mental is off. Who knows? But the next few rounds will tell. I think because it's not what you want to see from Boz. It's not what he wants to see from himself. That's for sure.
Again, as we know, he does play full HUD off, so I think that even includes not checking between rounds as to where he is, or at the end of maps even. So if he thinks he just drove a good round there, or maybe he knew and was just like, okay, we'll just get over that and drive another, a good round the next time.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I have no idea how the mental works when you just don't have HUD on or any indication of how you're doing. But Epos just about pipping him on the post. Yeah, he's got him.
Oh, great round as well.
In the mid to high 0.5s. I mean, great time, but not a bozbez time, I must say.
0.3 off world record. Again, this is the sort of pace he was showing on the first time round of frame shift in his first match, but then second time round he was pulling out all, he wasn't holding any punches. He was putting out the real times there. So
no, he hit the 0.32, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, 0.32 in rounds.
That's
with
insane.
A 0.28 being world record. So
yeah, like ever so slightly insane.
Yeah, we know he can do it. Not yet though in this match. Just Hendo with a wobbly line and hits the outside there in the dirt section, dropping him very comfortably into fourth place. Boz going the normal route, not going for the triangle strat.
He's looking for the extra speed here. Doesn't quite get that much.
But a good landing there. Really able to transition all that speed through to the uphill.
Whizzy losing a bit of speed on that outward dirt. That's not very characteristic of Whizzy. He's usually very good there, but last drift here.
I thought Whizzy almost clipped Epos, almost clipped the outside.
That was a very awkward set of drifts from both Whizzy and Boz, I would say. It wasn't the optimal kind of line that I would have seen from Leo earlier, for example. He was hitting that very well.
Yeah, everyone looking a bit all over the place here, but we're gonna have Epos out in front with a little bit of a lead of around 10 points after the first match. Then Whizzy and Boz 1 point apart, I believe, and Hendo then dropping back quite a little bit again, another 10 point gap there as we go on to the second map of polls. I mean, is this sort of what we expected? It's a little bit surprising that Boz
No.
isn't first.
After
I
frame
think.
shift, no, it's not what I would have expected. I think, it's a slow start from Boz on his best map, arguably his best map. So it's not great. And going into polls as well, I think polls is a tilting map. I think it's fair to say. I think
Yeah.
if you start making mistakes, you start making more and more and more, and it's too tight of a map to make mistakes. To be honest, you're gonna lose a lot of time.
Yeah, it's some would say it's on the simpler side compared to a map like Candy Crush or Hoga, which are quite a bit more technical and more punishing. But that just means
Very,
that these
very
rounds are
true.
going to be even closer here, and that
Yeah,
any mistake is going to really hurt because
well, I
you're
think
just not going to gain the time anywhere else.
I was thinking about that when I was learning these maps. Candy Crush and Hoga are just difficult maps, right? But when you hit the highest level of play and you have to start pushing every single turn, it's turns like the dirt, the drift going into the grass
Yeah,
on this map is terrifying because you know it's worth like point 0.1, point 0.2 at best, maybe. You're gonna
yeah,
push it,
and it's easy
and
to
you're gonna
safe
make
it,
mistakes.
obviously. Yeah,
It's easy to
easy.
save it, yeah, but you're gonna lose that time, and you can't afford to lose that
Exactly.
time. So
Exactly.
you're gonna push it, and if you push it, you're gonna come to a complete stop, and
Yeah.
that's game over for that round.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how many rounds here we get where everyone gets that clean and everyone gets through, and we're gonna have a proper close contest. Um, yeah, to get into it here, everyone getting the first jump really clean. We did see, I think, Leo clip it once or twice in the previous match, but yeah, first grass transition section okay. Epos a bit wide, but holding it together as Whizzy has a slight lead going to the this grass bank. Balls with a beautiful
Bozbez,
inside line. I think he
that
got a
was
bit of
incredible.
air. Yeah, he may have got some air on the exit of the sausage though, so he doesn't manage to keep his place that
That's
he
the
gained.
difficulty with that because if you have too much speed, then it's hard to control over the sausage.
Definitely. So Boz fighting from fourth. Gonna see if he can
Epos with
improve
a
it.
lot of speed. He's closing in on Whizzy here. If he goes for a low, and Whizzy goes for a high, no, he's a bit too much of a distance. But Boz almost fighting for Hendo there. That was very,
Yeah,
very close.
Hendo
Three
went for a
thousandths of a second.
very low jump from Hendo, very right side jump. So he had to really correct his line to get into the finish before Boz could there. That was a bit hairy, but good round from all the players. Only the slight mistake from Boz with the slight sausage jump, I think. This is what we can probably expect to see from polls if barring any crashes, anything major.
Well, Hendo in front of Boz is not what I would expect to see. I
Not
think that's fair to
at
say.
all. No.
Yeah, so I think Boz is really struggling to find his form here, and he's fast approaching the halfway point in terms of points. So that's scary. And Epos, by the way, look at Epos points. I mean, he's sitting at 82. It's pretty impressive.
A massive lead in points and this round so far. It feels like. We'll see if he can hold on to that or if anything's gonna happen. Looks like these three at the back are potentially gonna shift around as Whizzy looks like he has a little bit more speed and Hendo clips the inside there, but bozbez is gonna be going for a slightly lower line. Doesn't quite pip Whizzy though at the end. So Hendo has to go for the safe fin.
That's a shame. I
Yeah.
think Hendo's he's probably full hood off, as he said, but at the same time, I think he'll be freaking out if he saw the points right now and how close he is to Boz.
Yeah, definitely. He would definitely be pleasantly surprised, I think, at seeing how he's doing in comparison. But yeah, I think Boz now on 59 points. I feel like a lot of the games leading up to this, aside from his two previous winner bracket finals, I don't think he got to this point that often. And if it was usually on the very final map. In terms of points, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Boz adapts to this sort of situation where he is under the pressure more really haven't seen him tested that much, it feels like, throughout the event.
No, but he's at the point where, you know, this is the last stage of the competition, and there's a huge expectation on him to do very well. And it's not that he's not living up to that, but, you know, people also kind of expect him to win. So,
yeah, a couple low jumps there. Solid round, very close from the front
very solid
three,
round.
front four, honestly.
Very solid round.
Could have been anyone's at the air. Slightly lower jump by Boz, maybe could have peeped Epos. You know, that's a round we love to see. That's
it is. I want to see more of that, but at the same time, just to point out to the viewers watching now, there's more in the tank for these players. These guys can all hit 0.5, 0.6, which is obviously, you know, about 0.2 and a bit ahead of what they just drove. So, you know, they can push each other further than this. I think they've yet to hit the full potential of their speed.
Definitely. They've still, you know, if they really want to unleash the nitro, they can, you know, they got some more in the tank. I think Hendo dips a wheel into the inside border there, so should get a bit more speed, but he's actually falling back a little bit.
Yeah, if you can't manage it with the drift, it's really hard to keep that speed. Oh, a bit of an awkward line, but it's very, very close.
It's
very tight drift from Boz. He's going to lose speed here.
Epos, Whizzy, and Hendo.
Wow, okay. Low jump, question mark. Low jump.
See who's going to get the lowest jump in the best line to the finish. Oh my god, another great round from everyone there.
That's like an almost identical round.
Yeah, 53.9 being the weakest time. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's just ridiculous stuff from this grand final match here, and of course that was Boz in 4th place there, which again, crazy. Everyone else in the lobby is playing to such an extreme level that you know, these times are just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's exceptionally close, and I don't know. Like, I think Whizzy mentioned in his interview that he just needs to do solid times, and he needs to do them consistently, and he's doing exactly that. These aren't like blow you away times, but they're doing enough for him to stay, you know, middle to the top of the pack.
Definitely, and I feel like we've seen Boz do that inside grass line a little bit, you know, pretty much every round it feels like, and it doesn't seem like it's really paying off for him compared to the rest. He's dropping back a little bit again here as we get into the final sort of corner of the track. Whizzy, Hendo maybe battling for first. Let's see, it'd be crazy if Hendo could get a first here points-wise, but it doesn't look like it, no. But
okay, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay. Can we get some VGRs going in the chat? What is this? What are these times coming out from everyone here? A 0.7 to win the round.
This is something.
I mean,
but you know, focus on Boz here. I mean, he's not playing bad by any means, but he's not doing enough, and he's capable of more, much more.
Yeah. So sadly.
I mean, he's losing these rounds when he's still hitting 0.9s and 0.8s. Like that's tough. That's very tough. But he's capable of 0.6s for sure.
Yeah, I mean, now we're gonna be going on to Candy Crush, which is a map which he seemed to be a little bit shakier on. He sort of admitted to, you know, again, I said at the start of the broadcast, in general chat, he was like, "Oh, apologies of how I do on Candy Crush, not feeling so hot on it," and we'll see if, you know, if he is going to be doing okay, because Whizzy in his last match was putting out some incredible times.
And Epos
0.5 at one point. So
I think Whizzy and Epos are expected to do very well on this as well. Very, very well. And I don't know, it's going very well for Epos right now. Like, he's got an incredible level of focus to be continuing, like, you know, really, really good times consistently with very few errors. He's expected to do well on Candy Crush, I would say. I think it's probably his best map.
Arguably,
but will that play into, you know, the mental a bit? Maybe.
Yes, it
could do.
Just a note from as well, like the last map. In terms of Boz, he did a 0.9, a 0.0, a 0.8, a 0.9, and a 0.9, and lost 39 points overall. To just put into perspective how insane everyone else's times were, now the level of this grand final is absolutely massive. So, you know, let's see what happens on Candy Crush. Hendo gets into a bit of a, you know, unfavorable position
Yeah,
here, right
he's
to the back
oh,
of it. Oh,
Epos.
Epos all over the place there. Got a bit
That's
too much
not
of
good.
the apex.
But
Yeah.
Boz and Whizzy are like really fighting it out right now. I think Boz has something to prove. He really wants to win back some rounds and get a bit more comfortable here. But Whizzy is just not letting him get it idly. Hendo and Epos, on the other hand, falling a good bit behind. I think it's mostly these guys to watch right now. bozbez pulling out quite
Was he
ahead now.
wider, getting a little bit more speed, but
Not
it's not
enough
going to be
though.
enough track
Not,
for him to catch. Oh, and he clips!
no.
He's that's gonna be Hendo getting second place. Epos into third, and Whizzy bringing it home in fourth.
And can we
And
just point out that's a
also,
0.4 low?
that's an incredible time from Boz.
Okay.
Where'd that come from?
Okay.
I mean, we know he was pushing Whizzy there at the end, but that was okay.
Oz is like nodding his head. He's like putting his hands together. He's ready now. He's gonna give it.
Yeah, Boz said, "Okay, I'll let you guys have a little bit of a nice play around on the first two maps, but I'm here now, and I've come to play." Yeah, incredible time,
Epos
incredible
half
round.
a second behind though. Again, maybe it's just he knows he's expected to do good on this. This is one of his best maps.
Possibly.
Potentially, anyway, like from what I've heard. And not going so well right now.
Beautiful line by Whizzy and Boz to that uphill dirt there.
Look at Hendo keeping up though. He's really really staying up with these guys.
He's not letting up at all, Hendo. Doing it for Wales here. Let's see if he'll be able to get a bit more speed than Boz. Doesn't look like it, but is there any incidents of the finish? He barely gets it, and a 0.48 from Whizzy. Like,
oh my god,
another incredible round. 2.4s in a row. This is, it's tough to beat a round like that, if you're competing in this
Epos
game.
is capable. bozbez is capable for sure. It's those guys can definitely hit it. Like Hendo, maybe. I don't know if Hendo has a time as good as that.
I think he was like third in the TA when it comes to this map. I feel or something around there. So
they're all capable then. They're all capable.
Yeah. If he can pull out in rounds though is another question. And I mean, Epos finally has a clean start to a round here, so it could be a real cracker of a round.
Yeah, Epos has got to win a round back now. He's failed the last two, I believe. So Hendo takes a clip though.
Yeah, player from Split dropping down a little bit further. Boz with a bit more of an inside line there. Yeah,
he holds it, but he loses some speed. Will he gain it back
like
here though?
Epos should have it. Oh, Whizzy with a great line there. Oh, and he gets the finish, and another
push.
a 0.45 from Epos, I guess. Okay. I guess at this point we should stop calling out when they get a 0.4 because it's just normal. It's not fancy. No, it's not cool. No. It's just it's regu time at this point.
No, I think I will keep calling it out because it is absolutely not normal. Those times are insane. I think this is the grand final we have to remember, and this is the point that these guys have driven themselves to, which is normal times are not good enough. we have to do better than that.
Honestly, we like if we saw a world record in one of these rounds, one of these maps, I wouldn't be half surprised with how they're all pushing each other to the absolute limits.
No, actually, me too. And I wouldn't be surprised if the world record is better than the current online records can show. With a lot of these guys probably training offline.
One or two of those for sure. I mean, wouldn't be surprised at all. But Whizzy with a little bit lower speed compared to Epos and Boz into this last corner here.
Epos making a push. Where did that come from?
Yeah, but Boz with great speed. This is going to be a photo finish for the line here. Let's see who's going to get the jump.
Has Epos got it? Epos just about has it by fourth.
What the second?
Holy shit!
I don't.
This is insane.
I don't believe it.
What time was that?
0.59, I believe. It's not the craziest.
Yeah, but still, for all three of them to be in like the 0.5s and the 0.6s low, like that's insane. That's insane.
Hendo just chatting, being like, "Boys, these times, like, come on, guys, like, what are you doing?
What can you do? I mean, for Hendo, he's like an active spectator right now, but Down to
Yeah.
4 points, but he's done incredibly well this far. Whereas the others, look at this bunch. Like, they are just on top of each other right now.
He's just getting like it's speed diff. It feels like Hendo, which is
Yeah,
outrageous.
yeah. But you can see Boz getting into his own now. I feel like he's starting to get a bit more confident, starting to get a bit more focused. And look at that line.
Beautiful line
But
from everyone
Epos
there.
keeping up with him still. Like, he's,
Yeah.
they are
Whizzy's
neck
not
and
too
neck.
far behind either if he gets a good downhill plastic here.
Yeah, but Whizzy loses speed here, I believe, on those guys.
Looks
Yeah,
like
he's
it, yeah.
pulling behind.
Is Boz going to go for an attack here with the end? Doesn't look like he has
No,
enough
he can't make it. He
speed.
can't make it.
No,
Oh my
0.4.
god, look at those
You know,
times. Holy shit. They're both in the
casual.
0.4s.
Just casual.
Oh, no, wait. Boz is just out of the 0.4s. That's insane,
Yeah.
though. Absolutely insane.
That's just yep.
What do you do? Like,
But he's still only on 17 points left. I mean,
Hendo is probably just laughing at this point. Like, what do you do? Like, there's nothing you can.
Yeah. Endo's just got to be honored. Like, I'm in this final. These players are just doing some absolutely crazy stuff. Like you said, he sort of accepted his fate in this, but I was disappointed we didn't see a 0.4 from Hendo. I think everyone else in the lobby did a 0.4 at one point. Could have had all the royal
you
flush.
can tell him after the race. You can tell him after the race that you were disappointed by a non-godlike time from him.
Yeah,
Or...
I'll jest him in the Wales chat. Tell him how disappointed I was for him.
Sure.
But yeah,
Hoga,
I mean,
let's talk about the fact we're going into the least comfortable map from Boz for today, at least.
I think so, yeah.
And he's got 17 points left with 5 rounds to get through. That's kind of scary. That's kind of scary for him. I think unless he's been doing some practice in between the matches, I think he'll be a little bit scared right now. He definitely won't be feeling comfortable.
Not at all. I mean, the likelihood is he'll probably get to last chance and then sort of survive. And if he is going to be getting a first place in this, because Epos has got 54 points, that's just shy of 40 points ahead of Boz. It's a bit insurmountable. But again, with Hoga, you never know if they're going to make mistakes, and Epos could have a couple of rounds which you'd rather forget. But who knows?
Yeah, but he just has to play his game, and that's what he's been doing so far. But here we go into the first round on Hoga. Scary map, scary start, but everyone gets through it pretty well. It's still pretty close right now. Hendo clinging on to the rest of the pack for now.
Great lines there through the plastic section. Nobody getting any weird clips or anything, and Hendo's dropping a little bit back and gets not a great line through the uphill dirt here. So mainly going to be between the front 3 runners to really battle it out for first.
Yeah. Hendo is kind of relying on the other 3 to psych each other out and force a mistake. I think it's Boz is the one that needs to really push for these times here if he wants to get some points.
I think Hendo had to do another respawn, so that's going to be him out, unfortunately. Still, amazing performance from
incredible performance from Hendo throughout the whole competition. He's done incredibly well.
Absolutely.
Well played to him.
Yeah, that'll be him walking away with £150 of prize pool. So yeah, really incredible.
Yeah, but now it's bozbez in the hot seat, and honestly, I think if there was anyone who could win round after round in order to bring it back, it would be Boz. So I think he's got to pull it together, but he could do it. He could definitely do it. It's a big margin that he has to close though. Epos still on 53 points. Like, what is that?
There's a chasm between first and last, it feels like now, in terms of points. I mean, Boz had a great start to this round, but Whizzy really keeping up with him. Epos not finding any time save or any way to gain time compared to them, but it's like everyone gets a clean exit from the ice. Relatively good drift here. Everyone's picking similarly apart, but Boz is going to go on for the attack here, and Whizzy clips the outside. So only -3 for Boz. So he'll take those.
He'll definitely take those. He'll definitely take those, and Whizzy will not be happy with losing a third of his points, his remaining points. That's not good for him at all.
Yeah, it's considerable because obviously dropping down from 4 players to 3 players, the amount of points you lose per round will shift just to make sure the match doesn't drag on for 3 hours. So it's a bit more punishing. Even if you get first, you'll be losing quite a lot. But yeah, coming last there from Whizzy was, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna sting a little bit. Um,
Yeah,
Another
for
round like
sure.
that, we'll see him and Boz, staring at each other a little bit, um, deciding, all right, which one of us is gonna crumble first. Epos still has an amazing lead, but is currently last in this round, as we saw, similar to the last round. But there may be some mistakes at the end, which will propel him up a little bit further.
Very common in this track as well to have mistakes at the end.
Yeah.
But Epos is kind of closing ground now. Definitely
Yeah,
on Whizzy.
great
He's
exit
getting,
from the dirt.
yeah,
Nice.
really good. But it's the last sequence of turns that will tell the real story.
Yeah,
Will
Whizzy going
Whizzy
slightly
touch
wider.
again?
Oh, I thought Epos touched there, but
Jeez.
Whizzy just got a peep balls. 0.1 time there, not half bad at all, and incredibly close between the front 2 runners.
So Buzz is guaranteed to be in last chance after the next round.
Yes.
Um,
Yes,
yeah,
he
very
will.
scary position for him, but he definitely wants Whizzy to take the 10-point loss. I would say that would be his main target for now, at least.
Yeah, I think.
Epos just wants to keep those points as much as he can. I cannot believe how many points he still has in this really high stakes final.
Yeah, absolutely stacked opposition, but Epos really showing that he deserves to be here and he deserves to, potentially win it all with the amount of points he has. It's looking like that might be the case. But Whizzy getting a really wobbly drift there, not the best line into the dirt. So this would be ideal for Boz, as you said, as he probably realizes that fighting for first may not be the play and just try and beat Whizzy for as many points as he can. But Whizzy with a great exit of the ice there is going to be
Really good
overtaking
exit.
Boz, and Epos clips on the
Epos.
outside. So it's going to be Whizzy against Boz for the final corner, and looks like Whizzy's got a bit more speed. Do they fail the finish? No, they do not. And a 0.0 from Whizzy there.
Strangely,
That's a massive round.
that's worst case scenario for Buzz, actually.
Yeah, that is not good at all. I mean, Epos cooking it way too heavy on the outside, and Whizzy just getting a great drift there to keep himself in it at the end. Yeah, Boz now on last chance has got to hope that he can keep it together and not make a single mistake.
He's this is not his best map either, as has been shown, but still ahead at the start here. He just needs to keep the head down, keep focusing, just not get third.
Absolutely, yeah, just don't get last. As we said earlier in the day, it's that easy. Just don't be the last person to cross the finish line.
Epos doing a really nice inside line, which set him up nicely for the dirt as well. Whizzy with a lot of speed here, though.
Yeah, not as good a grass exit, I believe, though.
Oh, you had to compensate for the extra speed.
Yeah, ice looks good for everyone, and the dirt is Epos going to touch again? No, everyone gets it clean.
It all comes down to this last drift. Epos just about ahead. If he makes it through this, he might just have it.
Oh, beats Boz to the line, does he,
0.05 of a second.
Such a close round then. Whizzy with the -10. Going to be putting himself in a bit of a pickle.
Close round. Very close round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
nice lead.
Where are we going into now?
We're going to be going into frame shift again. Going back around to frame shift. Which...
remember what happened last time. Remember what happened last time. Boz was on the 0.6s, high 0.5s, and then the second time frame shift came around, he just popped off. He was hitting 0.4s constantly. He had a 0.32. If he does that again, this could be just an insane comeback.
Yeah, I mean, let's throw it to Twitch chat here. Do they think that Boz is going to be able to get a comeback? Do they expect him to get third, second, or first? I feel like it's if you're a betting man, you'd probably say he can't. He's going to get last at least 2 rounds out of the one out of the next 2 rounds and end up in third place. But Whizzy 1 round away, I think, from last chance. Aside from if he gets first, Epos with a massive lead. It's it's scary. But again, this is one of Boz's strongest maps, as we saw previously in the day. So we can definitely, if he can get his head into the right place, he can definitely perform and maybe
we
cause
could
a bit of an
honestly,
upset.
we could be looking at a triple LC. Like it could
I'm
happen.
saying,
It could very
could
much happen.
It could. I would love to see this happen. We'll see. We'll see. That would be the most fitting end to this if that
We
was
would
the
very
case.
much, yeah. Well, we'll see it very soon as we're just going into the first round now. I believe.
See if yes, we are into it.
Oh, look at that camera!
Amazing camera shot there. Really gets us into the action. Down this grass downhill, nobody clipping inside pole there, which is what you like to see, and a good drift from everyone.
Here's the outside dirt. Who's going to fail at it? Nobody. They all make it through just about. Epos with a bit more speed, just about. Whizzy looked like he had a nice angle into the triangle, but Epos is still quite ahead. Epos with a lot of speed right now.
Yeah. It looks like Whizzy's going to have to really fight this uphill here, and he gets pretty
beautiful
good.
outside dirt.
But
everyone did.
Yeah, not quite catching up with everyone else who did it.
Bozbez in a position to catch up on Epos just at the end here. He's going inside.
Huge if he could. Not enough speed though.
He doesn't.
Okay, we're going to see Whizzy going into last
Whizzy
chance.
Into last chance.
Epos with a 0.46. What a great time. I mean, that's again good pace for a round like this when it's all on the line. But again, double finalists now.
All right, this is it.
This is terrifying.
Everyone's seeing if Epos is gonna hit a wall or fail a gear or something, because otherwise somebody's gonna go out.
Yeah, we might see it. Boz currently in the lead. Boz and Whizzy neck and neck. Nobody touching the outside dirt. You love. It
freaks me out every time.
Every time. Yeah, we'll see. Slightly different lines here. Boz not compromising on speed, but it's going to be still in.
This is insanely close.
Like with slightly less speed, though, as he goes into the dirt jump, is going to be.
Somebody needs to.
They're all
oh my god! It's insane.
To the outside dirt. Boz with a shaky line. We saw this from the first.
They're all doing well. It all comes down to the last drift.
Last drift. It looks like.
Bozbez on the inside line. Whizzy. And Bozbez goes
out. Arguably the tournament favorite Bozbez is going to be knocked out.
What an upset!
Place
from an incredible round.
Yeah, that was what a match! What an absolutely amazing match. Boz walking away with £240. Again, probably just now he realizes that he's out. The pure HUD off. Probably didn't even realize. That's why only just got the GGs in the chat from him there. But now we turn our attention to Whizzy and Epos, as Whizzy could still have something to say about where he finishes. Nice outside dirt from him there. Epos on 18 points though, so he has to win a couple rounds. Does Whizzy?
Oh my god, that was incredibly close.
That was very risky from him there. But
Epos pulling ahead now, but he does have more speed, but can he carry it through this outside dirt?
Yeah. Nobody gonna touch. Whizzy barely avoids the clip.
Whizzy needs a very good end and a bad end from Epos, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Full risk in it, Epos.
Cool Epos going for it, and Epos gets it.
Epos.
He wins BIPC 2. What an incredible round!
What a god! Crazy grand finals there. Again, as you said, Epos pulling it out the bag, arguably an underdog in most people's eyes, but it turned up and played amazingly well. Not just for the first couple of matches, but for the entirety of it. Got himself in and finished with a 12-point lead over Whizzy. It wasn't even really that close.
He made it look easy. He made it look easy for the start, like the whole start of the match. He had a comfortable lead. Really, just I don't know what to say. Like he was not exactly a favorite coming in. Like everyone thought, like this guy's super fast, like super good. But up until like today and yesterday, nobody was like, yeah, you could definitely beat Boz. maybe other than Boz himself. But
No,
wow,
yeah,
what a game!
yeah, I feel like as you said, Boz was probably by far and away the biggest expectation for someone to win this, with Whizzy being probably second. But Epos said that in the interview earlier, it's like, I just don't think I've really got as much pace as Boz, but maybe I do, and incredible. We saw him pull out when he needed to, and he can now say that he's better than Boz in this scenario.
The thing is, I think what it came down to is just him just really keeping his cool, like keeping the focus the whole way along.
Definitely.
Absolutely, just proving his salt as a pro player. Like honestly, like really just keeping it together, 100%.
Not just, and like you said, the consistency there, like throughout. I can't put a finger on that many major mistakes he made the entire weekend. And at the pace of some of those rounds, again, we look at Candy Crush and everyone's putting in 0.4s in ridiculous times, and it's like, okay, when you're doing that and being consistent, it's very hard for someone to beat him, even someone like your Boss, like your Whizzy. It's no mean feat to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's very true, but I know the Buzz is capable of it, but I think what it came down to in the end was the mental game, the focus of Epos was just something else. Like, he just kept it together so well. Like, it's not easy to do that in a grand final. It's not easy at all, and he really pulled it off, and it looked easy.
Yeah, he really did it, and let's not forget, I'm gonna bring it back up again, Hendo doing his best there, coming in fourth, but as he said, coming in, he sort of expected that. But he just did what he needed to do. Was there for the ride. And I believe I got word from production that we maybe have the very first, the winner of British and Irish Professional Cup #2 here with us right now. We've got Epos. Congratulations on the victory.
What the fuck just happened? I don't even know, man. Like, I just played out of my mind. I don't know. I've never played that good in anything before. Ever. Like, ever. I'm so fucking gassed, man.
Rightfully so. You pulled out all the stops. Your times were just incredible on all of the maps. It felt like, and your consistency just through the roof. What do you think happened?
Yeah, let us know how you felt. Like, how did it feel? Like, were you just shaking the whole time, or like, were you on top of things?
I mean, throughout the entire match, I was pretty zen, to be honest. Like, I just shoved some tunes on in the background and I was kind of focused. But when I saw that it got to frame shift and I had such a big gap, Boz was on last chance, I was, very nervous. I just started shaking so much, but somehow I pulled it out the bag. And yeah, man, I'm just so gassed. I'm so gassed.
Absolutely. I mean, go back towards the start of the match. The second map in was poles. That we saw. I don't know how. Obviously cut off. So not sure how much you saw.
Every round, it was like a 10th between everyone. Like every round. Yeah, I turned it off. Like at the end of every round, I turn it off, which I probably shouldn't do for focus. But a 10th, next round, a 10th, next round, a 10th. Huh?
Yeah.
It's man, it was nuts.
It was insane.
I think there was probably 5 rounds in a row where I think Boz got like a 0.8, 0.8, 0.9, 0.0, and a 0.8, and lost nearly 40 points. Because the level of competition from everyone was just so incredibly high that you got to get a 0.7 if you don't want to come last.
Then Candy Crush as well. Like, I feel like there was a few on Candy Crush that were just like insanely fast. Like, I feel like you and Boz ended one round, almost both of you like within in the 0.4 bracket. Which is just nuts. Like, we haven't seen that at the rest of the tournament. So
I think Whizzy also drove a 0.4, right?
Yeah,
From memory. It's just like
one.
I don't know what happened to the pace to everyone. It just got skyrocketed. But well, it's grand final, so not for no reason, but for near enough no reason. It's crazy, man.
I mean, do you think you had anything left in the tank if they were going a little bit faster? Do you think you could have pushed any more, or was this you absolutely flat out?
On some maps, I felt like I could have gone a bit quicker. I can't lie.
Okay.
On Hoga, I feel like I was just really trying my best not to crash. So on Hoga, I had more to push. Candy, I had no more to push. Like I was just full sending every round, full sending within reason. But frame shift, about the same. Like I was just trying to absolutely blast because Boz had been doing 0.4s every round. So I thought if I even want to stay in contention, yeah, I have to do 0.4s every round.
Yeah. It felt like you know, you, Whizzy, and Boz throughout the entirety of frame shift, as you mentioned, were just incredibly close. And you know, you were able to get that little bit of a lead just towards the end of the matches, like each of the maps, and just eke it ahead. And you know, incredible drive, really incredible drive.
I felt in some sense I got a pretty lucky run, like not lucky, but I was clinching the -1s when it was so close very often. So I feel like fortune was in my favor, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad because I feel like out of everyone, I've probably put the most prac in. Like I think I have 8 to 10 hours on every map. I don't think Whizzy has that. I don't know whether Boz has that, but yeah, 8 to 10 hours on each map. So I'm well glad that I could pull out all the stops.
It shows, but also I was saying to KJ before you came in, I think what really impressed me the most was how you kept it together in such a high pressure time, like such as a grand final, and still those times that's hard. Like that takes a lot of focus, and I'd be wondering, what's next. What do you have any competitions that you have your eye on, like TMCL? Like what's next for you?
I mean, I would like to try TMCL, sure, but I mean, not to downgrade anyone from British and Irish Trackmania, but British and Irish versus international, so you get the Frenchies, the Germans, like that is when it's just, it's next level pace. It's really next level pace. So I'm gonna try.
It's the next protocol, it's the next step up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've been pretty bad in high pressure situations before. I mean, I went to Gamax. I did eSwap recently, and when it mattered, I kind of just flopped a bit because my mentality when I come against people that are fast. So in Gamax, for example, I think the match was me, Roy, Jussie, and Spam, and yeah, when I see those people in that lobby, I'm like, yeah, I have to push faster. I have to go faster than I want to. And for this match, I don't know, I just kind of kept it a little bit more reserved. And yeah, it really, really works. It works like a charm.
Yeah, I was going to say, in that sense, do you think it's the sort of the names you play against to get into your head a little bit more, and that wasn't the case for this because you know Whizzy and Boz so well? Or
yeah. Yeah, I think in some respects it is that, because I mean the same thing happened with eSwap. It's like the format was a little weird for eSwap. It was very big points based, but then I think it was the 4th round. I had a lobby that was stacked with like Mime, Elcon, Boz. I think there was Scandir, blah 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 blah. And even though I played out of my mind the match before, now that there was names, I'm like, oh, I gotta go quicker. And then I started crashing, blah 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 blah. You know the story. And yeah, so this time I just tried to reserve it a little bit. So I'm gonna try that out in the next comps that I go to.
Definitely. I mean, it seemed to work here at least. So yeah, it'll work on the rest of them. But I'm not sure if you're aware. Actually, you take home a fair chunk of the prize pool.
I'm a little bit aware. Yeah.
yeah. Just a small amount of £540 is going to be sent your way.
Amazing. I'm actually going to Japan in October, so that will go for Japan Fund. So yeah.
Amazing. I was going to ask, is it going to go anywhere nice? You're going to buy a wheel, try to do a Hendo impression or something, but no, spend it on that trip. Sounds like it'll be really nice.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Definitely. So yeah, amazing performance yet again today. Do you have any words you want to say to to the fellow competitors or anyone watching?
I mean, yeah, man, everyone played super, super solid. I'm really grateful that I got to win. Yeah, and just well played, everyone, really. Like, it was high level comp. It was a very high level comp. So, yeah, well played.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much for the players interview. Thank you so much for giving us an amazing grand final. And congratulations once again being the British and Irish Professional Cup 2 champion.
Thanks so much. That's unreal.
All right, well, that was a little interview with Epos there. Again, just very humble in his victory, which is absolutely amazing. Winner of BIPC, in affiliation with Into the Breach, obviously, for helping us with the massive prize pool we've got on show. But yeah, really huge, amazing event overall, I like to think. Any standouts for you for the weekend?
I think Epos is obviously no shit, but a great standout in terms of I just didn't expect him to do so well, and I think that's incredible. Hendo, obviously another big one. New Hendo is here, and he's here to stay, I hope. And yeah, I mean, they're the first ones that come to mind. I think what was great to see was just the caliber of player is just generally higher than BIPC 1, I think, and a lot more newer players rather than just the old farts. There was a lot of old farts in the last edition, so it's nice to see the scene evolve a little bit. And speaking of evolution, it's amazing to see help from a UK org such as Into the Breach and have them step in and support us as well with the prize pool and stuff. And I'm looking forward to more stuff like that.
Absolutely, and I'll just second your sentiment with the entire British and Irish scene. It feels like getting bigger and stronger. Despite that, it's there's a lot of players who competed in this who maybe competed in the last one, didn't do so hot, but are doing much better this time. There was obviously plenty of Welsh names got through to the finals. There's N7 from Northern Ireland, which is amazing to see. A couple of Scottish players, Rue and Jaffa, and obviously the Irish representatives of Babs and Liffey. So really amazing to see all those players along with the best of the English and best of the British and Irish Isles at large.
I don't think we had a Northern Irish player. Maybe we had Breakbeats like last BIPC, but N7 is a big breakout as well. I think I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in the future for sure.
So the future is bright for the talent of British and Irish professional scene, and for sure it'll only grow as have future tournaments in the works, which we'll hopefully be able to talk about soon when we get more details for everyone. So stay tuned. This will not be the last British and Irish Professional Cup or tournament, that's for sure. So thank you once again, everyone, for being here and watching, and everyone competing, taking part. I don't know if you want to add any more closing words, Hot Swap.
No, I think it's just been a great kind of experience, like for me casting as well. It's been a bit of fun, and hopefully I'll be back for the next BIPC as a player. But it's just been really cool to see everyone come together, and I love these kind of events. And again, thanks again to ITB. I can't wait to see where this collaboration goes as well. But yeah, thanks guys.
All right.
Cool to be on.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. For all the watching and everyone who played, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. So thank you very much for watching.
Thanks guys.